I'm here to announce my retirement from the game of basketball. I know, from a career standpoint, I've accomplished everything I could as an individual. And right now I don't have the mental challenges that I've had in the past to proceed as a basketball player. No matter what happens, in this business of basketball, if you didn't get paid a dime, you still would play the game of basketball somewhere. And that love has to be illustrated in the way that you play the game and the way that you carry yourself on and off the court.
Michael, is there any chance whatsoever that you'll change your mind somewhere down the road and return?
No. I never say never, but 95, 99.9%, I'm very secure with my decision.
MJ can't be pleased with his squad's performance.
At 38, can I possibly come back and play at a level of basketball that that I left the game? The odds are that I probably can't. Some people wouldn't want to see me out there playing, because they have a perfect perception of how my career should end.
The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
But ultimately, they don't get up and look in the mirror and say, hey, what if?
Speculation has ended. Rumors confirmed. The greatest player of all time is back, and he's wearing a Wizards uniform.
I've sat back for years and listened to damn near everyone who has something to say regarding Jordan and his Wizard years. Facts. When LeBron was losing in his prime, they were using Jordan's Wizard years as a metric against him. That's a desperate way to offset and deflect all the losing LeBron was doing. Real cute, real slick. Now, once LeBron turned 38, the LeBron sack drinkers went ape shit bananas. Look at the level LeBron is playing at his age. LeBron cold. I've never seen anybody average what he does at his age. LeBron is still playing at an MVP level. Jordan never did that. Blah, 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 and the list goes on, fam. During LeBron's 6-year Laker tenure, he has a bubble chip and a Western Conference Finals appearance where he was swept. Be proud of. That's facts. We know how the majority of people felt about the bubble chip in basketball circles. The players who participated in that, they put on a brave face, but we watched it, fam. It was like a bubblegum season. Let's not play dumb about the bubble chip. Facts. All right. LeBron jacked Jordan's number. Jacked his number. He jacked Jordan's powder toys. He jacked Jordan's Space Jam, fam. Jeez, sights. Yo, your man is a stalker. It's safe to say, right, he wants to end his career at the very least tied with Jordan with 6 rings. So it's also safe to say LeBron is still trying to catch Jordan after 22 years, fam. Think about that, 22 years. Jordan played 12 seasons for the Bulls, all right? And really 11 because he a year off for injury, but we're going to say 12. Forget the 2 Wizard seasons. Y'all need to stop with that bullshit. See, LeBron has played 10 more years than Jordan. 10 more years. And he still can't catch him, fam. Still can't catch him. Let that sink in your brain. All right, for all you slow people. He's played 10 more years and still can't catch him. See, all the milk tasters, y'all gonna call it great and twerk all over the place running honey on your nipples. Like my boy Dreamers Pro likes to say. Listen, you know what I see? I see a guy who was given a test to pass, right? And he was allowed 10 more years to pass the test. 10 more years to reach the top. And he still ain't past Mike, fam. Period. Bruh. That's pathetic. See, these milk tasters, they'll say otherwise. And they dare to compare these 2 guys? Are you serious? That's the first part. Now let's address the part you came to understand. Why should Jordan's Wizard years be irrelevant to the GOAT debate? Why Jordan's Wizard stats shouldn't be measured? Why you shouldn't use the Wizard years as a metric of measurement in comparison to LeBron? The ironic part is it's been in front of your face the whole time, fam. The media has made you completely discount the context. All you fake Michael Jordan supporters, you're getting this smoke too. Stephen A. Smith, Chris Broussard, Tim Legler, and others. You're full of horse shit, respectfully. When these guys get confronted with the whole, what about Jordan's wizard years? What did he do as a wizard? Look at him when he was a wizard. When you get hit with those questions, like cowards, you tuck in your tails and you bow out. Why? Why don't you ever stand up and tell the honest truth of what that comeback was all about? Why don't you stand on it? Skip Bayless, he touches it lightly. I give him credit. But even he seems to get muzzled and let guys run over him when they start down that path. Now pay attention as we walk through the timeline. Maybe it's me, but I find it completely insane and desperate. All right? Number 1, 1998, Jordan won his last championship at 35 years old. 35, all right? Phil Jackson was fired, Jordan stood on business, and he retired. He retired as a champion. Cool. 2 years later, 98. Started in 98. 2 years later, in 2000. At 37 years old, Jordan joined the Washington Wizards as part owner and president of basketball operations to get his feet wet, to become eventually an owner of a team. Cool. That was the whole purpose of that. A year later, 2001, 1 year later, at 38 years old, Jordan relinquishes his executive powers, comes out of retirement, and decides to play with the Wizards as a player, 2 years away from his 40th birthday, fam. Let's stop right there. Now, to the high IQ crowd, can you explain what just happened? From 35 to 38, can you explain what just happened? Look at those sequence of events. Can you explain what just took place? All right, let me help you out. First of all, understand this. If you're 35 and you're playing professional basketball, you're basically considered a senior citizen already, period. MJ had 6 rings by the time he was 35. Is there anything really left to do? It would have been nice to protect the crown, but the front office disbanded the team. Cool. Perfect time to retire. That's what he did. He leaves the game and reemerges as a part owner and front office exec for the first team in the league at 37 years old. Now he's in the front office. 2 years away, he spent away from professional ball. 37 and 2 years of inactivity and not living the lifestyle of a professional athlete. Instead, he was golfing, gambling, cigar smoking, throwing back that brown water, all right? And now, because the team is so sorry and his reputation as an exec is getting destroyed before it can get off the ground, what does Jordan do? How can I save this franchise? How can I give it some light? How can I give it some hope? You know what? I'm gonna come back and play. I'm still nice. I still got it like that. I'm not what I used to be, but I'm still better than these dudes. I'm still better than what I'm seeing on the floor. Maybe, just maybe, I can inspire these dudes, sprinkle some Jordan fairy dust on the team, and we can rise. I can change the course of the team, and I could get back to ownership later. 2 years from 40, this is what's going on in his head. Who does that, fam? Stop and think about that. Who does that? And to his credit, only the greatest basketball player of all time would have that arrogance to think at damn near 40 he can return to the NBA and be somewhat dominant. And see, it's like a blessing and a curse. What makes him great makes him crazy. Do you know where owners and team executives sit? They sit in the skyboxes, fam. They have corner offices as big as your apartment, rocking their dad bods. Does this come on. Does Mike sound like an athlete who's trying to win does that sound like an athlete who's trying to win a championship? Or does it sound like a GOAT who's almost 40, who's trying to squeeze the last bit of juice out of whatever he's got. Bring the team to glory. You know, he's part owner of the team. I could bring it out of darkness. One more feat. One more way to challenge myself. Those of us who watched it, we loved it and we hated it, as you heard in the clip in the beginning. Some people not gonna like it. That's what Mike said. He knew that. We loved it because it was MJ. It was the GOAT. We missed him. We hated it because it wasn't him. His knees was done. The athleticism was gone. Yeah, we see glimpses of greatness, of course. But for the most part, it was hard to watch, fam. We saw the deterioration. We saw a much lesser version of the greatest basketball player that ever lived. You want to see that? Think about it. Think about this. MJ asked his coach, Doug Collins, at the time, does he think he can still play? The GOAT is asking another human being if he thinks he can still play. That alone should tell you what this was. All right? The man wasn't trying to win no chips. He was massaging his ego. He was trying to, I don't know, really like give everything, get all the basketball out of his system. Trying to instill a winning attitude to the younger players on the worst team in the league. He damn sure didn't have Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, or Carmelo to play with. We never expected MJ to win a chip, and we didn't care, fam. Now, let's shift back to your boy, LeBron. LeBron is out here trying to win a chip, fam. He hasn't taken any breaks from high school and never sat in nobody's front office. His intent all his career has been trying to catch Mike with rings. And if he can't do that, you know what he decided to do? Stat pad his way to Saturn, Mars, outer space. It's selfish, cowardly, and disrespectful to the game, fam. You know why we hold LeBron to the fire? Because his actions and words out his own mouth says he's still chasing the ghost. He's ruining coaches' careers because he doesn't want to tarnish his legacy by being accountable. And shame on all you coward media personalities who try to bang on Jordan for his Wizards run. Are you serious? Only a desperate hoe would use that as a metric to measure greatness. At that point, you know what Mike was like? He was like Superman without heat vision and the ability to fly. Can you imagine Superman grounded with no wings? Superman can't fly? Yo, I don't know. Maybe MJ should have used PEDs. What you think? The point is this, guys. Bringing up Jordan's Wizard years, the offset LeBron's losing, and to hype him up and just make it seem comparable is dishonorable. If it was a court of law and I was the judge, I promise you, that's the type of evidence that I would throw out. If someone has to argue Jordan's Wizard years as a way to prove LeBron is the superior player, how sad is that, fam? If you're a competitor, how sad is that? What's even worse is how these milk drinkers don't expose the whole story. Because I'll share another nugget for you. We never called Jordan the GOAT because of his stats or how long he played. His stats was a byproduct of his play and his dominance. The stats just justify what we saw happen, fam. But listen, fam, talk to me. Jump in the comments and tell me how you feel about Jordan's Wizard years, truly. What do you think about the length of time LeBron has played versus the length of time Jordan has played? All right? And on your way out, hit the like button. All right, and thanks a lot for tuning in to In Your Face Hoops. I really appreciate it. But we give it to you straight over here, no chaser. Listen, till the next video, be safe and God bless.